What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have the final new casting from Matchbox in 2023 that I will be reviewing. So, you know, only halfway through 2024 are we getting to the end of 2023. It is what it is, but let's go ahead and take a deep dive at this one. This is the Mazda RX-8. Getting started with our casting, taking a quick look at our proportions, we will see that we look pretty nice. Not much to really say. It is basically, I think, the original body style for the RX-7. We'll go ahead and pop the real life car up in the top corner there. Now, what is metal on this casting? Mostly the entire body is metal. So what you see painted black is metal, which looks really good. Our cutaways up front is basically just this front intake right here. These right here are not actually cut out. They are just kind of casted in. They do look good though. Making our way down the side, this bit back here casted in, our doors are on both sides. Were these a suicide door? I feel like these were a suicide door. I'm not positive though. Gas cap casted in back here. Making our way to the rear, exhaust is a part of the diffuser, which is a part of the base. And then same for up front, the splitter is also worked into the base as well. On our roof here, we do get a sunroof. And that looks good. It is obviously a piece of the windshield. For our paint and deco, so we've got this nice simple metal flake black color, which does look good, although I really don't think that this was the best choice for this car's first release. The second release is a nice bright red. I actually have not found that one yet, but a lot of people have, and I definitely think that should have been the first release instead of this metal flake black. It looks good, but it doesn't fit the car all that well, in my opinion, and actually it hides the lines quite a bit. Moving into our details. So first things first, right up front here, we do get two nice headlights tampoed on. They look very good. There is a pretty nice level of detail to the tampo itself, which is always good to see. We get a Mazda logo tampoed on as well, which came out looking fantastic. There is meshing in the actual grille. It's a little tough to see with my lighting setup, but it is there. Making our way to the sides, we have these nice 5-spoke wheels, which they don't look awful. They are not great either, though. I'm not really sure which wheel I would have preferred on here, but these look fine. Making our way to the rear, we get our brake lights, which once again, just like our taillights, are fairly nicely detailed, actually. They just look overall good. We get a little Mazda logo there. We do get the Mazda badge and the RX-8 badge. And then we even get the little third brake light up here. Casted in is a license plate area, but there is no license plate tampo. And then the exhaust light we talked about is, once again, a piece of the base. For our roll test, this being a Matchbox Basic, it should be no surprise that it rolls, and it rolls very smoothly. Went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it came out to be 32.33 grams. So it is a little bit on the light side, actually. Pros and cons. This is going to be the cheapest RX-8 on the market, so that is a huge pro for it. About $1 and some change depending on where you find it, and that is a nice clean stock version of the RX-8. Not too bad. It is also going to be the easiest way to get a stock RX-8 in your collection. Kyosho has done an RX-8. Definitely not super easy to get a hold of that one, and not cheap either. And this one is, Hot Wheels also did a tuned RX-8 from a mix that was not very common. But yeah, easiest way to get an RX-8 into your collection, no doubt. For our cons department, the first big con is that color choice. It doesn't look bad by any stretch of the imagination, but for the first debut color, not a good choice. It just hides the lines too well. I definitely think it's something that looks good and would have been a nice addition to anyone's collection, but as the debut color, it really misses the mark, and I think caused a lot of hype for this casting to kind of go downhill. The other con is actually more of a personal gripe for me, not so much a con. When this one was first teased, basically, by the Matchbox crew at the Matchbox convention, they had one of the later generations pictured with the newer, sportier body style that I strongly prefer. So the fact that they actually went with this kind of older school body style, I'll go ahead and pop the body style I'm talking about in the corner there. That was what was shown to us, and then we got this kind of older, rounder, not as aggressive looking body style, which I don't prefer as much, so a little bit of a meh to me there. Moving into some quick size comparisons, here we have it with a couple of RX-7s. So this is the Mazda RX-7 from Matchbox Moving Parts, and then we have the Mazda RX-7 Savannah from Hot Wheels. And here we have it with some other random models that you might own, with the Dodge Stealth from Auto World and the Ferrari SP1 Monza from Barago. So with all of that out of the way, it is now time to get into our final scores. The hype level for this one was an 8.7 out of 10. Again, I think the poor color choice kind of affected the hype level. I have still yet to find the red one, so the red one's obviously being highly sought after. The black one here was not that hard to find, though. Execution, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. There's a few things I think they could have done a little bit better, but overall, it's still very solid. Community input, gave this one to the Council of Diecast. Here is what they had to say. A whole lot of mixed opinions across the board. The lower scores all definitely mentioned the poor color choice, so I'm definitely not the only one who thinks that. And this is going to be about an 8.3 from the Council, which, when we add these three scores together and average them, we are going to get a final score of an 8.5 for the Mazda RX-7 here. And I think that is an overall very fitting score. It's the exact same thing I did with my execution score. So, a good solid release from Matchbox, definitely. It's a very good fit for the basic line, especially. It's got nice tempo work. The casting itself done well. The biggest gripe just being the first release color. But overall, everything else on it is pretty good. And especially at the $1 price point, there's really not anything too massive to complain about there. I do wish it had been the later generation or the later, body style of the RX-8 like they had originally teased. I think that would have looked a lot better. But it is what it is, and I personally am just glad that we finally have an RX-8. This is the first RX-8 in my collection, and this is a car that I always liked when I was a kid growing up. So it is nice to finally be able to own one in 1/64th scale-ish form. And that's going to do it for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and let me know your thoughts on this particular model down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.